What's going on? What the goings on, yeah? I'm talking about already with the alreadys. We ain't gonna get into non-Pacific today. I ain't got no real topics. You know what I'm saying? Um, no explanating to do, but I do want to get into a small little short about my young battle rap. Told you I'm gonna get back into my battle rap mode eventually. And I guess we're gonna start off with Mondays. I mean, I guess that's where we're gonna be at. So I guess I was in one of the X, cause that's what we call on Twitter now, X. So I was in the X space. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the alreadys. Let me shout out to my coffee. Um, so I was in the spaces, and Sue Surf pulled up. Shout out to you, Doc. I know I ain't follow you, but hey, we might have to do a little bit more for me to jump off into your situation. But yeah, Sue Surf was there. You know what I'm saying? Yoshi G was there. I think. Yep, for sure. Miss Hustle was there. Um, Top Four Lou was there. Moolah was there. It was quite a few better rappers. Moolah was there. Uh, Wusa was there. You know what I'm talking about? I seen Swamp pull up. J2 pulled up with his antics. Shout out to you, J2. Yeah, it was quite a few artists there. Hansel was there. You know what I'm talking about? And I really I saying all this because it was quite something to be upheld. Now let's see if Midnight Madness Monday, that's what you called it, Triple M. I can deal with the Triple M. What about and then y'all have some matches that I thought were quite wonderful. I don't know. We definitely gonna have to see if these young ladies and young men decide that they want to do something though. You got J2 and the Swamp. They both pulled up. I kind of like the back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to Sue Surf. I don't know. Shit, J2 got some bars. You know what I'm talking about? Swampa really have to go, and you're gonna have to get past the LGBTQ bars. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to come up with some witty material and not just, you know what I'm saying, I do this and then you do that. You know what I'm talking about? We can't, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to come up with some material because J2 gonna definitely come up with material because he ain't gotta do this and that back and forth. You feel me? I mean, you could sell it. It could be around first or third. It can't be in the middle because we about paying attention by the end. So, like I said, you're going to have to come up with some bars. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, of course, there's going to be some name flips in there, but yeah, you're going to have to be witty, sir. Because he definitely going to be witty. If I was to pick an opponent, I probably wouldn't go with Sue Surf. I'd probably pick J2, to be truthfully honest. But you know what I'm saying? Then the motherfucker be thinking, well, damn, be trying to question. Don't question me. Shit, I'm married and I got kids. Nigga, don't question my heterosexualness. You understand? Because it's missing, for sure. Then you had another one, which was quite dicey. No pun intended. But Dice versus Jay versus Rum Denny, y'all talked about this for a while, and I was like, I kept trying to think, and I'm listening to Dice, and then I'm like, can he? I don't think he could even stand with Rum Denny, let alone do a battle with him. That mean he can't stand with him, but stand a long time. Yeah, he shouldn't have left you. You need a dope beat to step to. That's the first thing that came to my mind, the Aaliyah song. For real. But you did have a good one. Y'all had Young Ill. y'all had a question for him. A lot of people don't know who you are, young man, and you know why? That's because your bars don't stick. I'm gonna let you take that for what it's worth. I'm gonna even let the vets, nigga, like you need to go holler at Danny. Yeah, your bars just don't stick. I mean, they be all right, and that's probably as far as it go. Even when you was being aggressive with Chef Trez. Yeah, your bars don't stick. At least not for me. I mean, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know who you are because I do battle rap. You know what I'm talking about? I fuck with it the long way, so I know who you are. But if I was to just close my eyes and say Young L, motherfucker have to think. And when a nigga gotta think or second guess himself, it ain't where it's at. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Sue Surf. You should have been talking about Justice more often. Or you need to go look at Justice battles. You said something to him, but it was more or less like, once again, I don't know who you are. You know what I'm talking about? And when it comes to Justice, the bar's there. Being charismatic, definitely there. But being accessible, which is frowned upon these days. But you're like Av. Where the promo at? Why you don't talk enough? You know what I'm saying? We need to know who you are, especially if you got the bars laying it down. You know what I'm talking about? If it was up to me, you beat Eunice. But you know what I'm saying? You ain't pushed forward after the fact, so nigga kind of left you lost in the sauce. Can't be lost in the sauce, especially when it's forthcoming. It's time. You know what I'm talking about? We didn't wait it long enough. Shout out to Justice though. Handsome. They talked about you a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? They talked about y'all battle a little bit more, but they talked about y'all both. I mean, you've been around long enough. I think you a vet at this point. But you've been around long enough and you a vet, and you ain't got to no point. We don't know if you up or down. You like right there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't, you know what I'm saying? All you need is that good push. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all put a couple of these battles together, though. I'm finna get to it, though. Who else y'all talking about? Y'all talked about Moolah a little bit. Niggas like Ion. I like Ion. You know what I'm talking about? Now, will she battle Miss Hustle? Because that's what y'all wanted to be seen. I'm like, I don't know about her battling Miss Hustle. I mean, she good. But is she that damn good? Because Miss Hustle is that damn good. Yeah. One of them, she one of them Bars Unlimited type motherfuckers. So, is you gonna be and she's a tall young lady. So you gonna be able to stand up to the test? For real, because that's definitely one of them. You're gonna have to go in the studio and then you're gonna have to go say it a cappella. Then you're gonna have to remember. This all gotta happen. Because if it don't, you're gonna get mollywopped and slashed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all them tires definitely gonna be broken. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot going on that day. For real. But shout out to Ion. I like Ion. Shit, despite what y'all tried to do. You know what I'm talking about? I like that shit. And y'all spent a little bit of time, but it was a lot of time spent on Danny Myers. Danny the Myers is what niggas need to go to. If that's what you need to, if you need to improve on some material, oh yeah, that's the nigga to go to for material. You know what I'm talking about? Now, he been around a long time, so he might have an asking price. You know what I'm talking about? And I think that's where it vary at when it comes to this battle rap shit. Motherfuckers be having an asking price. You can't just think you gonna go make some bars and the nigga not gonna say, well, how long? You want me to improve who you are as a person? Shit, everything got an asking price to it. And I respect Danny the Myers. If I'm gonna make you and groom you, hey, you gotta come with some up you. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta come with some Vetty Alfredo, some Monze. Cause ain't no fun young without no money on. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't finna, I might be able to fix what you are. I'm not gonna be able to try if you ain't giving me no effort. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need to shine too. But shout out Danny DeMyers. You know who else they talked about? And me personally, I think he the voice of Midnight Madness. Please, the only thing I don't want you to do is get the big head. And that's Snake Eyes. If Snake Eyes don't talk shit like he talking shit, I don't even think we push forward with what we got going on. But excuse my language, I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. That is my disclaimer. I don't think Snake Eyes go as far as he go if he ain't really, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got in this promo bag. Yeah, and this don't got nothing to do with what I got going on. For you young cats, you need it. Don't shy away from it. Don't say I don't need that, I can do it on my own, and then ain't nothing going on. I'm tired of crickets. You feel me? And for it ain't Wusa but Moolah. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I know you from Philly and you like to put your swag on, but sometimes you gotta tone it down a little bit because it don't be looking authentic when you do too much. You know what I'm talking about? I know people done told you that and you don't understand quite what they mean by you doing too much. You trying too hard. Try less. And I don't mean don't do what you do, nigga. Just don't do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to sell it. Basically, if the fight is already sold, you sell it. That's it. You don't oversell it. You don't try to do too much. You do enough, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And you will prosper. If you can do enough in everything, it'll turn out to, if you do, excuse my language. If you do everything, I'm talking about you touch a little bit of everything, then it'll feel like a whole lot of something. And that's where you want to be. You don't want to be so far into this shit. Excuse my language again. You don't want to be so far into one thing and you neglecting the other because you got to keep this going. No, touch on it a little bit, then move to the next. Then move to the next. By the time you're on the third, the first will be ready. Then you can go back. Then you can repeat the same steps. You good when you at 4 and 5. You right now you at 1, 2, 3. Just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You can always pick your 1, 2, 3. I'm giving away too much. Anyway. Cause I like Moolah. You know what I'm talking about? Good rapper. You know who else came through? That don't rarely come through. They need to come through more though. Holmesy. Holmesy came through. He said his little piece. But that be just about the gist of it. But this Holmesy is type of motherfucker. He got so much going on. Better rap probably at the back of the burner. You know what I'm talking about? You got to make people like that come to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a decent battle. And then, you know what I'm talking about, you can move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you at ground level. A lot of you guys are at ground level. Some of y'all don't need to still be there. Some of y'all need to elevate from there. You know what I'm saying? But people know their purpose and know their place. And hey, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out to, it was another battle rapper I wanted to shout out. But then we going to move on to some of these shenanigans. Shout out to Frozenberg. Frozenberg came over there and he said his piece about him. And he was like, hold on. Some of these veterans need to talk. He said something and Top Lou said something. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you though, Froze. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to talk to these cats. You did enough for the culture. You know what I'm talking about? And you made your own channel. C'est la vie. But yeah, let me get into a few of these matches. So you got J2 and Swamp, definitely a match. Dice and Rum Nitty, if we can pay him enough, you know what I'm talking about? I'd love to see it, but it ain't nothing I'm stressing. I want to see that J2 and Swamp though. Young Ed, we got to see more from you, good brother. So when Young L decide that you want to put on a monstrous effort, we'll tune in. You got Danny DeMyers. He always rapping, so I mean, I'm pretty sure he gonna fuck with Sue Surf and they'll figure out a matchup for him. Cause I don't see Young L. I don't see he done battled Snake already. He even battled Eunice. You know what I'm talking about? So there was another match on here. Woosa versus Frozenberg Raw. This is something masterful. I love to see that too. Old versus new. And we can see where you at, Frost, even though we know where you at, Frost. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what I'm saying? You ain't been on the stage in a while. Woosa, new meat. It's gonna be a refreshing situation. You know what I'm talking about? And we got a few females. Can't forget the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Ion and Miss Hustle. We don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Miss Hustle might take the match, but then Ion might get the tripping. This one of them back and forth, you know what I'm saying? If they both take the battle, I'd love to see it. And we got a couple stipulation matches. We got Top Floor Lou versus Doc. Shout out to you, Doc. I told you might have to do a little bit more for battle rap for me to follow you. But lose your shoes match. Where the slippers should be in the middle of the floor, and the loser got to put them slippers on. You know what I'm talking about? And I guess the Midnight Madness Monday is going to be a 2-day event, so you get to wear them after the match and the next day. You got to show up the next day. You feel me? And it should be a forfeit if the stipulations aren't met. That's what it should be. Even that if it's not a forfeit of all your back end, it's a forfeit of some of your back end. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta make the slippers some name brand slippers. That way you have to pay $500-$600 for the slippers. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta pay for the actual slippers. Cause we still gotta see them. You ain't gotta wear them, but you gotta pay for them if you don't want to wear them, type thing. What was that? That was one of the stipulation matches. And then we got Jay Gray. Shout out to you, Jay Gray. I listened to some of your music. I probably have to listen again. You know what I'm talking about? You got some bars in there. You feel me? And I don't think females is ready for those bars. You definitely. I would like to see you with Yoshi G, right? But Yoshi G wants to battle J Love. You know what I'm talking about? And then with Jay Gray come the stipulation where you got to lose your wig. You know what I'm talking about? You got to find a worthy opponent for that. Who willing to lose their wig? A lot of females ain't willing to lose that. Yoshi G and J Love. And y'all stipulation was, you know what I'm saying, we're going to pull them, you know what I'm saying, them tickle bitties out. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't know. Then Yoshi G stated that the culture bought her anatomy. You know what I'm talking about? Which was crazy. But I guess we chipped in on that. You know, some of the guys got to talking about how, okay, since we chipped in, we need to see it. It's like, it's still her anatomy. Yeah, let her have that. Okay, I think that's it, y'all. Shout out to Battle Rap, though. And like I said, I will be tuned in. We'll have some shenanigans here and some shenanigans there. I probably could have went a little further with the Midnight Madness situation, like, you know, the whole units and how this and that and that and this. But let me say this to Tsu Surf before I leave. We can definitely tell you ain't been around in a while. Some of these people that you deemed not relevant are relevant. And this is what's going on with the vets. The vets need to find out who's the best and push them forward. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep a holding on to the goal. You know what I'm saying? You gotta teach them niggas how to mine. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the already. So let's get into a few of these shenanigans and we're gonna get up off this thing. Oh, before I go, shout out to ARP. I'm just gonna say shout out Adam. You know what I'm talking about? And Sorry It's True channel, and I think I'm only subscribed to Sorry It's True. But you know what I'm saying? You on your blogging journey, so shout out to you, good brother. And I do be paying attention when you come on live, for sure. I want to talk about the bars of Danny DeMyers. You know what I'm talking about? His bars basically on 30 for 30. And how he basically addressed the elephant in the room. And he made a whole bar about it. The Loaded Lux Murder Mook bar. It was a whole situation. The fluidity was something crazy. He said he loaded 30. And it was a murder. Something to that effect, right? And it's like, why these two battle rappers per se ain't battled you, good brother? I don't think they want that type of L though, especially a bar heavy L. Then it, you know what I'm saying, it might expose some of their superpowers. You know, this day and age, don't nobody want to expose themselves. And low key, I think Danny will beat Loaded, but won't beat Murder, or vice versa. If he was to battle Murder first, he'd beat Murder, but he ain't gonna beat Loaded. They gonna definitely do a tag, and they from Harlem, or they gonna do a tag team. You ain't gonna beat both of them. You just not. You gonna be prepared. You probably prepared right now for both of them. You feel me? Got shit in the clip. You feel me? But they are good at learning from their mistakes. So if you beat one of them, you ain't gonna beat the other one. It's like I said, we this far into the game, we should know it by now. You know how Mike Tyson Punch-Out was? After about 6-7 months, you know how to get to Mike. You just couldn't beat him. I'm talking about, nigga, when we was little, this when games was first coming out. So nigga would sit 6 months in the crib, we would talk shit, you know what I'm saying, smoke our little nickel bags, you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know, and we would play till we couldn't play no more. Mike Tyson Punch-Out was one of them first games. That, and if you was a dunk hunt master, like you kept the high score, I'm talking about, and you charge your little licorice to, you know what I'm saying, to win, have a whole bag of that. You know what I'm talking about? As long as you could buy some fries, hey, you got the girls, licorice and fries. But yeah, when it comes to that music, shout out to you, Danny DeMyers. I just wanted to talk about them bars because they heavy, and he definitely has earned the right to be talking to one of them individuals. But at the same time, they want to see Tsu Surf and Murder Mook. Will it happen? Yeah. They come down off the high horse and, you know what I'm saying, make the battle affordable. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see. I think I'm gonna skip that one. We gonna definitely come back though. Shout out to Skilla Baby. You know what I'm saying? All the real niggas show me love. All the real niggas get the F around me with all that fake stuff. You know what I'm talking about? All the real show me love. All the real show me love. I like it. But that's me though. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get from around me with all that. You know what I'm saying? Only real show me love. Only real. Hey, I'm definitely gonna do this some puff Bagwells with that. Oh man. Let me see. Okay, let's get into some of these horrendous shenanigans, man. So listen, we got Nolan Wells, right? I guess I'm gonna say Warren and his friends decided they wanted to sit down with a podcaster and tell their side of the story. Now, Warren and his friends, Warren and 3 other assailants, which were the assailants that were in the Nolan Wells case. And they wanted to get their side of the story after, it's been 2-3 weeks. Now you want to tell us that we took the boat out. Why would we be guilty if we called this person and this and that? And woo. You called his mom, let him know what was going on. Just a whole bunch of shenanigans I do not care to hear about. When it all boiled down to it, you 4 individuals was responsible for another human being's life. You came back without the human being, stating, even if it was stated that you left him with other individuals, you responsible for that individual. The phone situation, how him and the phone are in 2 different locations. Even if he was a person that didn't care about technology and he just left it. You feel me? Why? Like all this boiled down to you was responsible for that man. You came home without him. That's what friends are for? No, that's definitely not how that song goes. Okay, so I don't care what you say, Warren. You can call whoever you can call Tyrone. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. And at the end of the day, is this a cover up for Rashid Carter? Because Rashid Carter also lost his life in it's my love sisters. Anyway, what was it? Is this a cover up for Rashid Carter? Because Rashid Carter lost his life 4 months ago, and his body was decapitated, and there's no arrest. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. Rashid Carter got killed 4 months ago. There were no arrests, and his body was decapitated. And you mean to tell me y'all ain't figured out what was going on when it was like it should have been a deep dive investigation? And then Ben Crump come out of nowhere. Oh, we ain't investigated this. Hey, this more between these 2 cases, this the most publicity he done had in a decade. He loving it. You know what I'm talking about? But at the end of the day, we ain't solving nothing. Ain't nothing being solved. Why not? I'm not understanding. And then my thing is, everything always political, right? So why ain't no political powerhouses came out and had no statements about none of this? We just gonna just keep sweeping, huh? Hey, eventually the rug get full. You know what I'm talking about? And then all the bull keeps spilling out. You know what I'm talking about? But Go get Skilla Baby. Get from around me with all that. He been out since August 21st, so you know what I'm talking about? You done had about 3 weeks. Go get Skilla Baby. Get from around me with all that fake shit. Cause the real show me love. All the real show me love. You know what I'm talking about? For real, for real. Let me see. Let's get into some lighter news. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Nolan Wells. Before I get into the lighter news, shout out to Nolan Wells. Shout out to ALS and Chris Johnson. Ice Bucket Challenge. We're going to talk about these two forever and a day. I think that's just what it's going to be, and that's how it's going to be. You feel me? I got to get my motivation from somewhere, and just seeing them in parallel, this is what's driving my force right now. But like I said, let's get into something light. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Angel Reese and her team's goggles by Nike. You know what I'm talking about? One of her teammates loves to wear goggles. So you know what Angel Reese decided to do? I need me some too. Oh, you got them from Nike? I'm gonna get everybody some. That's what I'm talking about. That's just what the type of person she is. You feel me? She gonna make sure everybody eat if she eating. And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Atlanta Dream. You know what I'm talking about? Now we back to the shenanigans again. So I guess Charleston Wright got released. You know what I'm talking about? He been released. But I guess somebody caught him on videotape leaving the jailhouse. They called his name out and he went right back into the jailhouse. That nigga was like the in and out. I mean, did you bring you a fat burger? The nigga like, I do not want to be bothered by paparazzi right now, and I just got out of the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? You probably didn't look like nothing like what you are on camera. You know what I'm talking about? You had to see what the real you looked at like. That shit was crazy, right? But at the end of the day, yeah, that's what them niggas know. You know what's funny to me? That niggas ain't helped the community. Nigga talked about the community activism, and they ain't activated no community. I mean, you know, we're gonna have some kids here and there, a toy drive there, and moving forward. But yeah, Charleston White for himself. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, he did a lot of he did a lot of activism before he started self-preservation. He seen it wasn't working. In this day and age, you got to do with what works. You know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about, shout out to Blueface and the shenanigans that he's putting forth on the Kick program. You know what I'm saying? You go live every day, all day, talk about everything all day. That's just what you do. You know what I'm talking about? You probably right now on Kick. Talking about he woke up for breakfast. You know what I'm talking about? To each his own, let me tell it. I understand. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Nivea. You know what I'm saying? I guess she wanted to get her little storyline going. And now she a witch doctor. You ain't been doctoring nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Now you want to make illustrations on how you move around. Nigga, you ain't been moving around. Don't start now. We should have been talking about your pregnancy and what you got going on a long time ago. Now you want to have a storyline? Because Sean Rock and Blueface storyline is strong. You even let them go on a vacation together. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what kind of story you got, but it ain't real enough. Then I seen, you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes I go down my little situation, and it's always a hater somewhere. You feel me? You can't never congratulate nothing. That's just what it is. You know what I'm talking about? And this might give you a little bit of me, but hey, it is what it is. You will never get all of me. You'll never know when I'm cutting it on and cutting it off too. That's also something, you know, sometimes I don't never tell a motherfucker, but hey. Oh shit, like Skillet Paper. Only the real niggas show me love. Hey, you know where I'm at. And you know who I am. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't here to offend or harm anybody. You know what I'm talking about? I just, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. We're gonna come on here, use it as a tool. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, where was I at? So, yeah, you not having a storyline, Nivea, is really crippling what you got going on. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody got something going on when it's going on. And if you ain't got nothing going on, you got to get the fuck on, at least off the camera. You could do whatever you want to do outside the camera. You and your baby can't come on the camera if y'all ain't got nothing going on. We just filming you to be filming you. No, that's not what it is. That's why I really don't like how Abe and Dean be having it going on sometimes. Yeah, you'll have 5 minutes worth of content, but the rest of it should not be filler. We can't hate every 85% filler and 15% content. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose the viewer. And what's crazy about the situation is you might lose yourself trying to give out more. You know what I'm talking about? We understand, we get the storyline. And as harsh as this might seem, this is the reality. That man don't want to get his life in order. He want to keep doing what he doing. You know what I'm talking about? So eventually, instead of putting him down, you got to get up, pack your shit up, and find you something else to do. You could tell him in the quiet room, you could tell him in the front of the camera, but eventually you got to tell him, like, bro, this ain't working. I don't care how many dollars you get or how many sponsors you may have. You only got like 2 on them. But y'all gonna keep playing with me until I just get frustrated. And once I get frustrated, I'm gonna tell you like a T.I. is. And I ain't what you really trying to see me. I'm basically putting some cinnamon sugar on it. You know what I'm saying? 2 in 1. Looking ass nigga. You know what I'm talking about? So if I get beyond myself, then you gonna be like, he beyond his means. Why he acting like that? Woo, woo, woo. You know this is what's going on when it's going on, and we gonna, yeah. You're gonna meet Charlie. I don't like Peekaboo, because Charlie is not a good person. We're gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna get up out of here. So we got Rap City and Styles P having a conversation at a juice bar. I love this. Shout out to Styles P from the Locks or Warlocks, depending on how old you are. And Rap City. I think it's only one other motherfucker that got better bars than you. And I don't care what bias is. This is my sister, then it's you, my nigga. And I don't care what kind of I've been listening to you so long, nigga. I know when you made some music. You know what I'm talking about? I know when we done made some music. Great wordsmith. You know what I'm talking about? I can name my top 5 when it comes down to GWs, and you definitely went on. But it was good for you to be sitting back and you got a new album coming out, and it's gonna be you talking about love. What you know about love? You know what I'm talking about? Let me hit this coffee. Shout out to y'all though. I was so happy to see 2 wordsmiths. Yeah, I wonder what y'all was talking about behind the scenes. Hell yeah. To be truthfully honest, y'all, I bet you that was an intellectual conversation. Then y'all probably got to talking about intellectual properties and how to get your real estate portfolios together. Y'all had good conversations. I could just see it. I would love to been a fly on that wall. You know what I'm talking about? Already. Shout out to Rhapsody. Let me say it right. Rhapsody. Because sometimes I just say it just for me. So Rhapsody and Styles P. I got one more and then we're going to get up out of here. Christian Rock in The Vacation. Damn, Blueface, that's 2 in a row. So, I guess Blueface took Christian Rock on a vacation. They probably ain't going nowhere but up the street. He live in Cali. You can go up the street and it looks so beautiful. Y'all on the home, all you need is a hotel. Y'all doing what y'all do on some normal shit. You know what I'm talking? Excuse my language, I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. This is my disclaimer. But yeah, and while y'all on vacation, Nivea is sitting back doing a live stream, talking crazy. You got pulled over by the police, just all type of things. And it's like, you still here? You even was on the live stream like, oh, I'm about to pack my bags and I'm about to leave. The next day you was back on the screen. You confused with me. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna say you confused me. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. This is frustrating. You know what I'm talking about? But hey, to each his own. And that's what's going on when it's in the zone. You know what I'm talking about? Already with the already. And guess what? If you see this light, you know it's real. And with all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.